Imagine for a second that your mind is a high-definition camera that recorded every single second of your existence, but then someone took a powerful magnet to the hard drive. You have the hardware, the lens, and the processor, but the first 3 years of footage are nothing but flickering static. This is the great paradox of being human. The most formative years of your life, the years that decided your temperament, your core fears, and your primary language, are a total blank in your conscious mind. But what if I told you those memories weren't actually deleted, but were instead baked into the very structure of who you are today? If you've ever stared at an old baby photo and wondered who that person actually was, you're in the right place. Before we uncover the hidden secret blueprint of your brain, take a quick moment to hit that like button and subscribe with the bell on. It's the best way to support the channel and ensure you never miss our deep dives into the strange mysteries of being alive. It really means a lot to us. We often think of memory like a filing cabinet, but in the earliest stages of life, it's more like the foundation of a building. You don't remember the concrete being poured, but you feel its strength or its cracks in every room you walk through later. This process actually begins long before your first birthday, in the quiet, liquid world of the womb. By the 3rd trimester, a fetus is already a sophisticated student, learning the specific melodic contours of their mother's voice. Researchers have found that newborns will suck more vigorously on a pacifier when they hear their native tongue compared to a foreign language. This isn't a memory you can recall, but it's a preference that is hardwired into your auditory cortex before you've even seen the light of day. You didn't just forget your infancy, you lived a life of intense sensory absorption that shaped your brain's physical wiring. Consider the concept of Neural Darwinism, a theory proposed by Nobel laureate Gerald Edelman. When you were born, your brain was a chaotic jungle of connections, possessing far more neurons than you have right now as an adult. To become a functioning human being, your brain had to engage in a process called synaptic pruning. Think of it as a master sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. The excess stone, the neurons you didn't use, had to be discarded to reveal the statue underneath. Between the ages of 0 and 6, your brain is essentially a construction site where the workers are throwing away half the materials to make the structure stable. The memories of your second birthday weren't necessarily lost. The physical bridges that held those memories were simply demolished to make room for more complex thoughts. But there is a darker, more mysterious side to this called implicit memory. While your hippocampus, the part of the brain that stores names and dates, is still maturing, your amygdala, the emotional alarm system, is fully online from day one. This means you can experience a traumatic or joyful event as a baby and forget the details, while your body keeps the receipt. This is why some adults have an unexplainable, visceral reaction to the smell of a certain hospital cleaner or the sound of a specific floorboard creaking. Your conscious mind has no story to tell, but your nervous system is still reacting to a ghost from 3 decades ago. You are essentially a walking collection of emotional echoes that you can no longer trace back to their source. Then there is the fascinating world of the mirror neuron system. Alayhi salam, an infant, you are a biological sponge, mirror imaging the facial expressions and micro-movements of the adults around you. This is how you learned empathy and social cues before you even knew what the word friend meant. You didn't learn to smile by reading a manual. You downloaded the behavior into your motor cortex through sheer observation. This deep-level mimicry is so profound that it often dictates our adult mannerisms, from the way we tilt our heads when we're confused to the way we pace when we're stressed. Recent science has also pointed toward the gut-brain axis, a hidden storage site for our earliest experiences. The microbiome that develops in a baby's digestive system in the first 1,000 days actually sends signals to the developing brain. These signals influence the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. In a sense, the food you ate and the environment you lived in as a toddler changed the chemical flavor of your thoughts for the rest of your life. You might not remember the taste of your first solid food, but your brain's chemistry might still be operating on the signals that food sent years ago. We also have to consider the GABA switch, a fascinating neurological event where a specific neurotransmitter changes its entire function. In a developing infant brain, GABA is excitatory. It speeds things up, while in an adult brain, it's inhibitory. It slows things down. This means that the way a baby experiences the world is fundamentally more electrified and intense than anything you can experience now. A baby isn't just a small adult. They are a different kind of conscious entity entirely, experiencing a world of raw, unfiltered data. Because your brain was so busy processing this high-voltage reality, it didn't have the luxury of creating a neat chronological narrative. And then comes the role of epigenetics, the study of how your environment can actually turn certain genes on or off. The amount of physical affection and security you received in those forgotten years left chemical marks on your DNA. These epigenetic tags can determine how your body responds to stress even 40 years later. You don't remember the hugs, but your cells do. They carry the chemical signature of that safety in every strand of your genetic code. You are a living record of every moment you've forgotten. So when you think about your missing childhood, don't view it as a void or a black hole. View it as the operating system that runs in the background of your life while you're busy looking at the apps. You don't remember the installation process, but without it, nothing else would work. Those first 3 years were not a prelude to your life. They were the most active, intense, and transformative phase of your entire existence. The person you are today, the way you laugh, the way you worry, and the way you see the world, was decided in the dark. You are the sum total of everything you cannot remember. And perhaps that's the most beautiful part of the human story. We are built on a foundation of mysteries. We are walking, talking testimonies to a past that we can't see, but that we can definitely feel. Your history didn't vanish. It just went undercover, hiding in the very fabric of your soul. It's a strange thought, isn't it? That the most important person in your life is someone you'll never truly meet again, your younger self. But they are still there, in the way your heart beats when you hear a certain song, or the way you feel safe in a specific kind of light. They didn't leave. They just became the floor you're standing on. And knowing that makes the mystery of being alive just a little bit more incredible.